Yes. So, okay, let me restart. I'm recording the video. Okay, so I showed you insert a new, right? I showed you how to insert existing. There's also a way you can further edit, replace. So let's say I insert a new part, name existing structure column type 1. Okay. Yes. Click OK. Right. So this is a new part, right? There's nothing there yet. Okay. I haven't built anything. So I'm the guy which I'm in charge of doing the trees, and there's someone which supply me with different type of column, component, extra. So later on, I don't want say I insert others' work and to supersede and delete my work. You can just simply replace it. So you, by selecting first and then you right click, this is I'm selecting this newly inserted file, right? And you coming down to the component, yeah? And you find you have a replace component, right? And then you can click the file which I just made, right? The individual file, click open. Do you want to replace all the instances of the selected elements? Yes. Okay. So you can further replace file later on. And another thing is if you move around, remember I've saved some of my files into the right location, right? If you move it from Windows later, once you open up DP again, you will miss a link because the path is different. Then you have to find the file. Let me try first. Okay, recording. So I'm in GCD and I want to change my children's order slightly. Reorder my children and put the part body up. And this one, come on. Okay. So I will make some input construction. Okay. So I in the input I shift to architecture workbench. So I'll draw the first one line. Yeah, I just draw one line. Can draw. Let's draw a line. So let me think which way is better. Okay, let's do this way. So I make a sketch based on XY plane. Origin will be my part origin. Click OK. All right. So I have a general idea of my site, which is, let's say, that. I'm working the millimeter, I believe, and I make it coincident with the origin midpoint. Okay. So you might say, all right, I might want a parameter control my site x, okay, and give it, let's say, 20 meter. You apply. I want another one, site y, and give it 30 meter. Apply. So this one will link with my width. Okay, and this one will link with the length. Okay. So from there, I draw just one line. That the end of the line always keep me 3 meters away from my boundary. This will be served as the first grid line. Okay. And remember, we can output a feature from here, this button here, so that the sketch generates one output line. Okay, will be used for the future grade. And this line, let me see. Yes. So another parameter which we need, or two parameters. One is the spacing, x. Let's give it 4 meter. Apply. And then spacing y. Give it 5 meter. Apply. This all can be changed, yeah. And okay, now we're gonna populate the number of lines, yeah. So what we do is we use translate. Okay, you can either type in here translate, or you can find the command. Let me see where the command is. Keep recording. We select the element, okay, output, direction, I put it x component, distance, I make it spacing x, right? Click OK. Don't click OK yet. Check this. Repeat object after OK. All right, and then click OK. So let's say we give it 6. So I do 6 more, yeah. I keep it as absolute. So if you keep the absolute, this parameter will work for every single populated line. If you do relative, they only work for the first line. Okay. So I recommend you do the absolute, and you can say either create in a new body or not. Okay. So if I make in a new body, I click OK. Right. I got number of lines, yeah. So you can also move this one inside here. Oh. Okay, right click, change geometry, set inside. Okay, you can move that guy up if you like. Okay, great. X. Right, and I'm gonna make the Y, yeah. So I'm starting from what I do this time. I pick this line. I'll do rotate, right? So okay, let me find the tool. So if you really mess up the desktop, you can go to customize and toolbars, restore all content, restore position. There we go. Okay, so this is the tool set we need for now. So I pick this object, This time I used rotation, right? Rotate. Okay, so you can select the method. There are 3 methods to do rotate. Yeah. So I need the axis. I've got the input element. The axis, you can pick up something in the model if you have, or you can just right click, find a z-axis. So they will take the origin point, z-axis, locating the origin point, and rotate it. Yeah. So you can rotate manually, or just say 90 degree. Okay. Oops. So let me draft it slightly. So I got the rotation. This time I'm going to use rotation. Repeat the same trick. So to translate direction, this time I change it to y. Distance link with this spacing. And then repeat. Click OK. Repeat 5 times. Click OK. Okay. Let's go beyond. So we need to make. Right. So we can delete this one if you like. Can delete it. So the way those lines being calculated the distance, you can see there's a formula. So the length, if you open it, the first translate length times a figure, an increment figure. Okay, so that'll give you the array. That's why if later on, let's say, if later on I change my spacing to 4, 5, right? This one to 4, 5, it will change everything at one go, right? 13. Okay. So and let's move this to, come on, to here. And shift around the order. So the translate, the rotate will be the first one. And translate the number 8. Oh. Come on. Translate number 8. Okay. Now I'm get myself grade Y. Yeah. So now I'm gonna make the architectural grade. This is something different now. So notice here you have a number of tools that you can use. The first called grade, second, come on, grid level, grid axis, grid intersection, and grid point. We'll come to that one by one. So the first, what you need the first grid as serve as a like a layer. Okay, so because all the rest they can only exist inside this grid layer. It cannot exist in geometric set, nor the solid part. Okay, so let's say for instance if I click grid level, give me an error message. The current in-work object is not a level grid. So you need to create something which will host the information for the grid. So the first thing you need to do is to have this grid. And they have 3 kinds of a grid. You have an elevation, plane, intersection, right? Okay. So we start from elevation. Okay, and let's name it. Just name it elevation. And you can also set, the elevation above sea level. Right? Let's say 0. No, sorry, maybe 10 meter above sea. 10 millimeter. 1 meter above sea level. Okay, now I have a grid object created which in parallel to the geometric set. All right. Now I can make. I will make the plan for each level, say ground floor, first floor, second floor. Okay. So I need a plane. Yeah. So I need to make a plane. Wait a minute. So come back to here, input. I make a plane, offset from plane. So I do this as an XY plane. The first offset will be just a 0, which is the same. Okay. Click OK. And then I will make more planes offset. Okay, referring to the first plane. I need a parameter. So I need a floor to floor. Yeah. So I have create a new one. Call it spacing Z. Give it 3 meter. Apply. Click OK. Alright. So now let's do the plane again. Offset from plane. This is the method you can create a plane. Okay. You change that. You change the different input. So I'm using the basic offset from plane. So the reference to my first plane and offset will be the parameters that I just created, which is this one. Click OK. Again, you can check repeat object after OK, right? You can check this. Click OK. So how many you want? Let's put 4. And we don't. Okay, let's create a new body. Click OK. So you have this created, which you can adjust at the one go later on. So this is a plane, the 2 plane that I need to move inside. And I name this as my grade Z. Oh, no, not grade. Sorry, elevation Z. Okay, this contains all the planes, right? And order them again. So first, and second. Some funny mouse. Okay. Right. So now come back to the elevation grade, and I can pick up altogether. I think I can pick up also geometric set. And using this grid level, have to do one by one. Okay. Try again. Yes. So see, multiple, and click OK. And give me plane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice the name is identical to my original object, right? So therefore, there's a one tip that you can rename them. If you remember, by using the Excel data sheet. So I select all those names, right? I click this Excel data sheet. This is the one which to use to generate a spreadsheet, but we can use it to quick rename as one group, as one go as well. So I only want to rename, so I only check the feature name. I don't care about those calculations for now. I click apply. The first time loading Excel, so it's opened up the Excel software. Still loading. So I insert a grade. Make sure this is a plan, okay? I say grade Y. Click OK. In grade Y, I make it from using a letter A. This is B. This is C. This time I just do the manual way. Okay, so I pick all the line in this direction, and using the grid axis, click OK. Right, so I got the X and the Y, yeah, and also the level, and I'm happy about it. So I will save the file, this GCD. This is a new file, yeah. So GCD save into general my power station. GCD. Click OK. Okay. One more last thing, before I can move to the component, is I make a new one grid. This time I call it intersection. So intersection means the two direction axis, they can intersect. I name it grid name. Let's call it grid. Let's just call it grid inter ground. Okay, ground floor. So notice the icon also different, yeah, but it's all from the same command here. Now we're gonna create this called grid intersection using this command, grid intersection. Click. So first the grid will be X, second will be Y. Click OK, and then give you all the intersecting point, yeah, and also name wise automatically. So 2B you can locate very easily, yeah. Thus you create this intersection, grid intersection. Oh, come on. So save the part file. Now this file is pretty much ready for me to create something based upon this general setting up. So now I move back to my other file. Make sure I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. Okay, so I move back to my column. This time I'm gonna make a column, right? So I'm gonna use those tools, yeah, in here. And it's clear that, let's say I will make, let's say I'm using a steel. I make a steel column. And let's make easier one first. So the idea is if you can select the intersecting point either by hold Control down to do multiple selection, or you can also do in selection here. Hey.
Sorry, just to.
1 second.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So all you can do, this is like intersecting selection. Or you just to make sure everything is inside your trap. So if I do this, I can make a frame selection by putting this, right? And I select it. And if you want to keep adding the selection again, hold Control down. Yeah. So now I'm just try the first row of columns. All right. So I pre-select those intersecting point. Come here to column. So by default, it gives you infinite long column, okay? And also by default, following the Z direction. And here, just use the catalog column, and you have an option, either by rectangular, so have a width and depth, and here you can link with a yes. So this is one way, or you can do a circular, which is give you a circle section, right? Or you can do a standard. So I'll come to standard later. Or you can do a customization. Okay. So I accept the rectangular for now. I don't change anything for now. Just 400 by 600, and so the bottom expect a plane where I can use my plane here, first level, and top I do maybe to my plane 3. Okay, and so here position is referring to my intersecting point. If you change that to, I just change one, you have a let's say center right. Maybe I change to the top, you have a better see. So this is center right, yeah. That center before, okay, and this is center left. So notice a point. So basically it shows the position of your column to the insert point. You can also say, okay, I'm going to do top center. Okay, so give you a very nuanced control in relation to the insert point, and this will be very important when build up assembly because you have to consider the material's thickness. You have to, although it's the same insert point, but you have to insert around it to avoid any physical clash. Okay, so for now I will do, I think, left. No, center left. Sorry, center left. Oh, okay. E, center. Okay. You can further offset, give you a even more slightly adjustment if you like. Okay. So you have a many level of distance control, similar here as well. And structure set point, yes, that's the output. So the output, this will be as a wire, which can be quite handy to give to structure engineer. They can use a wire to calculate, yeah. So and this can also change location as well. Okay. Right now I'm taking the center, yeah. So yes. Okay, so I have a number of columns in here, right? And I will make another few columns, which is different this time. Okay, I select new set of intersecting point, right? Column, and this time I use standard. Then this will come the catalog that I give you to install. So you have different kind of catalog. If you change to large icon, that's a size, description. Okay. There's many, depending on which group you're looking at. Okay. So I just pick up one. Pick up. Maybe I need a big column. This one. Double click. Notice other information will keep the same as the previous column parameters. It by default will pick up the legacy from left comment for bottom, for top, also for alignment, right? So I change to the plan view, but this time I do center left. You can also rotate it 90 degree. But if you rotate 90 degree, it's not a center left anymore. Yeah, become, I guess, top right. No, top center. Okay. So click OK. All right, now I have columns. Let's make number of beams. All right. So making beam again similarly, but this time the input will be the horizontal grade. So I pick one grade. Okay, and then pick this multi-support beam. So you need to give a support, which is on which plane, right? So plane wise, remember I pick the same plane to drive my column. Again, give me an infinite Okay, so you need to position that. Okay, then let's position it correctly. So I do bottom center. This is bottom center, bottom right. Right, now aligned, yeah? Size wise, make it a bit smaller. Oh. I can do further offset. Let's see. Okay. All right. And so from, let's say from number 8 to number 1. Yeah. Okay, you can further make offset if you like later on. But what I'm going to show you is something like this. And we'll make another one by taking this one. Take a grid. Okay. So the difference is now I'm going to use one beam to trim my beam. Okay. And here getting messy, yeah. You know, in the real world it cannot clash. Okay. So you can there's a number of ways you can do that. If you open that up, you can say, okay, I'm gonna notch it, or maybe I will do a meter way, which give you a chamfered angle. This is minor, this is positive, like this, give you a 45 degree, right? Which I will change the other one as well. So that's from number 8. If you remember, I replace number 8. I replace number 8 with this beam, and you keep this quite neat. Yeah. And this is also the way you can. Let's say if I do notch, I can do notch center vertical. Okay, and I need to change this beam, right? So I need to change this beam to notch as well. Okay, but I'm missing part, yeah? So you can say notch, maybe, okay, wait a minute. You see that you will have a indicator here. You know, you can do, okay, I'm gonna notch, so I pick the left. So you come all the way to the end, right, to make alignment. So there's many ways you can modify that. If I change this to top right, or no, bottom left. Yes. See, this relationship will be kept. You automatically update. Right? So you don't have to and then but this side is still infinitely long, yeah? So you can just make another one. I'm picking this column. Oh, wait a minute. So from this column, there should be a negative, and this column, the end point will be this one. Okay. I just make the left one so that I finish it off. Keep to the right. Okay. I don't want to just clean everything since the time is very limited. Okay, so I have a column, yeah, the beam, they're all linked. So if I change my grade, let's say if I come back, I left the file, right? I'm jumping back to my general control. This time I say, all right, you know what? The brief change. This needs to be on my design decision change 4 meter. So it turned to red. It's waiting for you to update. by, there's one button hidden, this guy, update, yeah. So the update all the linked components, right? Okay, now I still have 7 minutes to show you the wall thing. So come back here. Ding, 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 ding. Where is my, yes, here. So I'll go to, this is my column, I go to wall, yeah? I go to wall, I insert new part, call it X wall ground floor, yeah? So I click in, here the wall, right? So again, using the wall, you can give the sketch. So you're looking for a plan input, right? So the wall can be extruded. But I'm lazy now. I just use the grid. Okay, I'm just use the one grid for instance. So I make a wall. Here for slab, it's similar. It asks for a enclosed sketch or enclosed shape. So I'm using a axis which has infinite length, right? And you can select the kind of wall. Yeah, I'm using say structure and envelope. Double click. So give you the build-up layers. It is loading from the standard catalog. Loading, first time. Okay, there we go. It not show up yet, yeah, because I have to give, okay, which my bottom plane? My bottom plane is this one, and my top plane is my second. From which point? From, let's say, number 7 to number 5. Okay, see that? And you don't want that clash to my column, right? So therefore, I use as maybe exterior, or no, interior. Okay, so get away from my column. Right? You can further change those thickness if you like. You can still have the offset if you like. All got offsets, right? So I click OK. I got the wall, right? Now I'm gonna have a window open, yeah. So I do, in this case, window at the elevation. So I pick up this one, pick the wall, reference. So reference looking for location reference, right? So I pick one intersecting point. Style. Okay, I have to give a style. Let's see what style I've got. Right, those are the styles. Let's pick one, pick this one. All right, I pick this one. Okay. So the reference elevation, this is the offset. I can make it a minus. Oh, sorry, this is the height. Oh, that's a seal. So seal is 1 meter height, yeah? I'll give it to 300. And there's something wrong with the location, right? So reference, offset, so I can mirror it. So there's a number of things that we can do. Offset, window width, let's give it to 500. Okay, so you can change that. You have a number of controls, and you can also change the opening method. you can give a opening ratio. So all those can be further adjusted. Yeah. Similarly, and here are the more parameters that control this one single window insert. Okay. So similarly, you can have the door as well. You can just insert and name it until you click OK. You can still further update and change. You got a number of way to modify it. Okay, and you can also try the slab. One more last thing, this all this object, in fact, if I look at it, it contains a number of objects, including a solid, which means if I go to the geometry, you can still modify it as if you operate on a solid. So you can further, you can pocket it, you can delete, you can add, some additional to make the column not just as extrusion. Okay. So this is something which I introduce work for you to look at, using the architectural workbench for the assembly idea. Okay, we have to stop here. The video has been kept. I will upload